Hello! Hi there, it's me, it's Dave. How's it going, my friends? God bless you. Thank you for taking time out of your, hopefully, relaxing Friday. TGIF. Am I right, my friends? Yay. It's the end of the week, but I have had just quite an interesting week with Mortal Kombat recently. We had our 2-year anniversary of the channel. We also got to max level in Mortal Kombat 11. We also got a very nice fashion show this past season, just on Tuesday. There was lots of fancy new rewards, but really, taking a look at the rewards, at the way that the game has level progression, getting to level 500, it seems as though there was a lack of thought. A lack of foresight for the game. Because a lot of these areas of the game, the loot, the gears, the skins, the level progression, it seems very much neutered, or at least half-baked, or rushed, or they were doing something else and not really caring about the rewards or the actual levels that people have to progress. So, they being NetherRealm, yes, we are going to be taking a closer look at NetherRealm Studios, some articles, some quotes from former employees, to try and figure out why? Why is the game like this? Like, we just did ugly skins yesterday, and it seems like there is a very lazy copy-paste formula for a lot of the characters in this AAA title, which is kind of disappointing. Yes, I know the ninjas are palette swaps of each other, but does that mean even their gear pieces have to be copy-pasted too? Come on. Do they even need to have, like, costumes of the same color, like that god-awful green, red, and white outfit? Yes, I'm just very uncertain about these things, so I was doing some research to try and figure out why. Why is the game like this? And if you've been playing the game for a while, you'll know that there are other parts of the game that are just kind of unfinished. I think one of the things that we really capitalize on here with our fancy YouTube channel are the augments and the augment system. There was a definite lack of quality assurance testing put into the augment system. Instead, the devs turned it around, flipped it back on the players, and said that we were doing exploits with the old augment system. No, no, no. That's just how you made it, developers. No, no, no. I was not exploiting the game. Maybe you could call my infinite time crystal glitch an exploit, but I'm fairly certain that those are things that the devs are aware that they put into the game. I'm fairly certain. Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, the augment system definitely lacking, and with the update that happened with Aftermath, there was whole entire game modes of MK11 just left to rot. I'm looking at you, AI Battle and AI Battle PvP mode. Those are both just unplayable because the devs just kind of axed it. It seems like they had a concept and they were not able to come to fruition on it. And, you know, no hate about that, because sometimes I have ideas about things that I would like to do for videos and they never really get made. But yeah, I don't know, like, why is it that the game has been left like this? So I did some research, and I thought it was pretty interesting what I found, so I thought I would share with you guys. Alright, so let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you so much for joining along. Hopefully the audio is working. I should have checked that earlier. Let's see. Oh, it seems like it's working. Please do let me know if the audio levels are okay. I am streaming from my PC, not my PS5 today, so things might sound a little different. Hey there, Omar, Jalen, Jigsaw Nora, Blix Demon, that one guy. The answer is yes. I think it's very obvious the game was incomplete on launch. Yes, a very interesting perspective. I think that yes, the game is objectively incomplete, given the examples that I have cited previously, but I wanted to know better, like, what is it that's going on at NetherRealm Studios. So we're going to be taking a look at, like, reports from ex-employees, potential leaks on Reddit, some articles, as well as some company reviews. Yeah, so we have a lot of things to take a look at. Hey there, JJ, Brandon, Joey, Coffee Gamer, Jalen, I feel like the new rewards should be lower ranked. Yeah, maybe. Put them in the premium shop. That would have been nice. Alright, okay, so, wow, I think the place to start off here is the Wikipedia page for NetherRealm. This is where I began my research, and I was aware that people had made allegations that the environment in which the workers have to work in is very toxic. It's very crunch culture oriented, and I'm not saying that crunch culture is bad. I think in every workplace there's an element of crunch time. Like, if it's the end of the fiscal year and you have to do taxes, like, people are crunching for that. If there's some sort of, like, well, I used to work for drug companies. If there's some sort of, like, regulatory agency review and there's an inspector coming in, like, everyone's on high alert, that's crunch time. There are certain elements of when there are crunch times. So I don't know. Okay, anyways. So shortly after the launch of Mortal Kombat 11, several independent declarations from former employees came through about the studio's alleged practices and general working conditions during the development of their last 4 games. So this would be MK9, Injustice 1, MKX, Injustice 2. So this may not necessarily even apply to MK11. Bear that in mind, but I'm just uncertain. I'm uncertain about some of these things. Okay, so in May 2019, NetherRealm released a statement saying, "At NetherRealm Studios, we greatly appreciate and..." Okay, alright. We'll actually get to that quote later on. So yeah, so it seemed like there was, like, alleged practices of, like, bad working conditions. What? So apparently people are getting abused at NetherRealm Studios, allegedly. Allegedly. I'm not sure if I agree about this, but I did some research. I found this article, and it did give specific names of ex-employees, which I think adds some degree of, like, legitimacy to what they're saying. However, these could be disgruntled employees. Who knows? Okay, so, on Mortal Kombat 9, crunch officially began after New Year's Day 2011. Of course, we did a bit of pre-crunch before that, just to make sure we were in a good spot for crunch. If you're not familiar with the idea of crunch, it's that there's, like, some sort of specific, like, business goal coming up, and everyone has to work overtime, lots of hours, to try and get this goal accomplished. And, I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think if there's, like, a group of you in crunch time, it definitely bonds you together, because you're both facing the same stressors. But, yeah, anyways, so this is way back in 2011, like, so far ago. So, of course, we did a bit of pre-crunch, just to make sure we were in a good spot. This was on scheduled documents. This was not wink wink, nudge nudge, passionate, hard-working thing. This was mandate. Yeah. Okay, and then he says that he's been working as a software engineer, James Longstreet, for 2 years, and he also went off on Twitter. I don't really like Twitter. I tell people go check out my Twitter, but I think Twitter is filled with a bunch of loudmouths that are very aggressive. I don't like this. It's very aggressive energies, and I don't want that in my life. But yes, he's saying, "I hardly sleep, I'm grumpy at home, I have no energy to go out." He sounds very victim-y here. "It's been 8 years, and they've made it clear to me that I'm persona non grata there anyway, so F it." So he's clearly a disgruntled employee. So, like, this is one disgruntled employee. However, it gets deeper. So that was just the first guy. Now we've got other people coming out saying that they did not like working at NetherRealm. So we've got here a QA tester, Isaac Torres, who worked at NetherRealm from 2012 to 2013. So he was there for 1 year. "I crunched for about 4 months straight. I was regularly doing 90 to 100 hour weeks and worked every single day." Yeah, 4 months straight? That's tough. That's tough. And it sounds like he was kind of like a junior associate worker, because he was only there for a year. It was probably a contract position, because it was only for a year. He was not full-time. So I think, like, also the perspective of people on contract versus those on full-time will differ greatly. Like, if you've worked in any sort of, like, business setting, people who are on contract generally face, like, I think, more stresses than a full-time employee, because they don't have benefits, they don't really have, like, sick paid leave. They're usually on salary, so they're getting, like, paid, like, a set amount for the year, not, like, an hourly wage. And if there is this kind of, like, crunch time where you have to do, like, extra work, well, employers don't really care about that. They've already given you your yearly salary, so, yeah. It's really not so the hours that count towards contract positions, but really the business goal that's tied to it. I don't know. I was tired all the time. It took me about 30 to 45 minutes to get home since I had to take a bus. That sounds kind of, like, natural. I don't know. I live in a commuter community here in, just outside of Toronto, so it takes, like, an hour to get downtown if you work downtown. Okay, anyways. But I know someone who, is he gonna complain too about the time that he has to, like, shower and get ready? I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing now I'm taking a closer look at it, and now I'm like, what are these people complaining about? Okay, but I know someone who stayed on the couch in the office to not risk falling asleep while driving. Okay, so they definitely did not shower. I literally had no life for several months. There just wasn't time. I would have to work at 9 or 10 a.m. I would leave at 2 or 3 a.m. And then that process would mostly repeat itself. Yeah, to 2, 3 a.m. is pretty late. Although there were times that I used to work really late too. I don't know. I guess, like, I've been in that crunch culture, and I guess I don't mind it. It's also kind of exciting too, because it's like, you have to perform under pressure. Honestly, I have no clue how I did it. I'm pretty sure I aged 20 years in the span of 3 months. I hear that. Yes, working that hard can definitely age you. So that was person number 2. Now we've got person number 3, Beck Halstead, and said on their Twitter that NRS needs to be exposed for predatory and abusive behaviors in the same ways that Riot, Epic, and Telltale. So these people definitely don't sound like they were associated with Mortal Kombat 11, but at the time that these, like, articles were coming out, this was when Mortal Kombat 11 just released. So I was vaguely aware of these articles and these allegations, but I guess I kind of made the connection in my head that these two things were related. However, it seems like these allegations and MK11 is not related? I don't know. Okay, so Halstead claims studios relied on temporary workers. Tell me, like any business that does not want to rely on temporary workers, because you can get away with much more by doing that. Beck, please, my second or third week of work, a new temporary environment artist sat down next to me and was working on getting his desk set up. The first thing that full-time person said to him was, "Ready to die from crunch?" I will never forget that. I and most other contractors, some of the most talented junior level workers the game has to offer, worked at $12 an hour to work on a AAA game. Unless you were like a woman like me, we got $11 per hour. I'm pretty sure that's below minimum wage. I'm not sure if they're doing some fancy maths to account for these 9 to 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. work schedules. You know, the thing about crunch, though, is that, like, in the off period, there are some days where you're at your desk doing nothing, right? So, like, you have these people are talking about, like, 4 months of, like, working in crunch time. But what were you doing the other 8? I don't know. I guess I'm playing too much devil's advocate. I should be more bleeding heart about it, but something about this sounds kind of fishy. Let's see what you guys are saying. I would love to know your opinion on this. NRS/WB is a pretty scum company. Maybe? I don't know. Jury's still out on that. And these are all allegations. John Lee. Hi, Dave. Frostskin, you got 70 out of 70, but I only have 68. Can you help with what I have? You are probably missing Eternal Clash skins for Frost. These are things that are very likely never coming back within this year to the game. Yeah, I'm sorry. Me too, Dave. I really hate Twitter. I made a tweet about my opinion on MK11 and people were so sensitive that they started saying stuff to me. Oh no, I'm so sorry. See, this is why I'm so happy for our community here, because we have a very warm, welcoming, positive, open-minded community. Better be. And we have a lovely Discord too, so if you are like brand new, I checked out my metrics the other day. Apparently more than half of the people who watch the channel are not subscribed. I can bet that you guys are probably not in the Discord too, so please join the Discord. It's a wonderful place. If you need a friend, you need someone to chat with about MK11, yes, I'm there too. 18 plus only. Hey babes, hey Six Legs, hey that one guy, hey Exo. I just came on looking at Beck's post as a contract concept artist, and from what I know of the usual artists from Midway and NRS, it couldn't have been that crazy a job. Beck was just extra help. Okay, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it sounds like you're a junior level worker. Like, how much are you supposed to be paid as an associate? I know that, like, when... Okay, anyways, we'll talk about salaries later, because I have, like, a whole entire thing about salaries. Okay, so, yes, Beck, she not happy. She also said that, women... She made allegations about women not getting paid. So because of this, NRS contractors need overtime to survive. Some folks have gone into huge credit card debt because of it. I'm confused by that one. Are you buying business supplies with your credit card? How are you getting into huge credit card debt? I'm so confused. I have a very different way of looking at money, too. Like, I only use a credit card if I can afford it with actual real-life cash. The main reason why I use credit cards is because I don't want them to go inactive, and then you have to pay an inactivity fee. That's so stupid. But how did you get huge credit card debt out of working? That makes... I'm just curious about that. Okay, so it says here, former NetherRealm QA analyst. The thing that makes me sad, though, is that it's talk about QA analysts. Like, QA testers are the people that help prevent things like glitches and exploits. And it seems like the people that you wanted to, like, be proofreading your game are very unhappy with how their work condition is. Maybe it's limited to a specific department, because I know, like, quality assurance, quality control, those are very, like, time-intensive activities. Especially if you're trying to do your job right, you're trying to see it from every single way. Everything is meeting your performance standards. Yeah, that can be tough. I worked as a contractor at NRS and can confirm everything that Beck has laid out here. Lots of amazing people work at NRS, but there are serious systemic issues that need to be addressed. Severe, massive crunch periods trying to make submission deadlines. Wow, submissions. They make it sound like there's filings of some sort to some government agency. I used to have to do that for the drug companies. We used to have to file applications to the government based on company guidelines or company deadlines for submissions of when they wanted to sell things. Yeah, but I mean, like, how does that work for, like, a video game? Like, getting something out to, like, the release date? So, like, I'm curious, like, did this elicit some sort of, like, crunch culture or, like, rush to release for MK11, especially in light of the fact that, like, levels 200, 300, 400, 500, they're meaningless. It feels very little player appreciation for people who actually want to play the game and go that high in level. It's also, like, poor fan appreciation when they put, like, the same skin for a whole bunch of characters. That's so ugly. Okay, she described periods of crunch as a blur. That's so sad. We were second-class citizens, and that was made clear in many little ways. I think a lot of contract employees feel like that, though. I remember when I was a contract employee, I used to feel like that, but I think that's capitalism. This is the capitalistic world and society that we live in. I managed to get by for a while, but it got to a point where I had to put my student loans on hold. If it wasn't for the money made during crunch, I likely had to have settled for a different job in industry, which was something that I didn't want to do because I had just finished school. Something. They're also saying that they made a formal complaint to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So I'm not American, I'm not familiar with these American agencies, but it sounds like it was something that was pretty official that was submitted as a complaint. However, all of these people are talking about Injustice 2, MKX, like they're not really talking about MK11, so I can only just like hypothesize that this could be extrapolated. If this is correct, it could be extrapolated to the release situation of MK11, perhaps. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Okay, so I'm always forever grateful for the... Okay, yeah, they're happy that they work there. Good. Alright, so the next article that we have here is one from Variety. So Variety, I feel, is a little bit more reputable than PC Gamer, and this is where they get, like, an official statement from NetherRealm, especially based on the fact that they've made, like, formal complaints to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So NetherRealm says, officially, at NetherRealm Studios, we greatly appreciate and respect all of our employees, and prioritize creating a positive work experience. As an equal opportunity employer, we encourage diversity and constantly take steps to reduce crunch time for our employees. We are actively looking into all allegations as we take these matters very seriously and are always working to improve our company environment. There are confidential ways for employees to raise any concerns or issues. Sounds like NRS did not like the fact that they made, like, formal complaints to some government agency. They're like, use our internal systems. But that's the problem. If there is, like, an employee who feels like there's an issue with where they're working, they would not feel comfortable about raising the issue to their employer. It would be better done to, like, a third party. So, yeah, that's kind of laughable there from NRS, but I'm also just, like, confused by this statement here. What does equal opportunity employer that encourages diversity have to do with reducing crunch time? Like, where's the connection there between diversity and crunch time? Are they, like, taking, like, the women and the people of color and using only those employees for crunching time? I'm confused. There's just some, like, weird, like, nuances and implications that are going on with these statements. Even what they're not saying, it's about, like, what's actually happening. So let's see if I can find this thing. Okay, so they are supposedly taking interns. Apparently the, like, culture at NetherRealm is saying that it's okay, interns aren't really people, contractors were always referred to as interns, even if they'd been there for 3 or 4 tours. Oh, wow. That's really sad. Let's see if I could... I want to see if I can find this one thing. I'm not sure where it was in the article, but it said that there's, like, a nearby, like, educational institution, a nearby college of some sort, where they take these interns and they use them to work at the company. And that's how a lot of these people ended up working. I'm trying to find the name. Article too long and I forgot where it is. I'll have to do some digging to see if I can find that, but if you're familiar in the live stream chat of what I'm referring to, it seems like a lot of, like, the interns that work on the game are taken from a nearby school or a university, and they're paid, I guess, just less than full-time employees, but I don't really think that's surprising either. I was an intern in university too, so I was like underpaid, but I think it's all just kind of like, what's the idiom? Cutting your chops? Getting your chops out there? I don't know. Something about chops. Yeah. It says here, I don't know if the number of women non-binary folks has increased at the company, but the numbers for that have never been good. Oh wow, there's just all sorts of allegations. Just all sorts of allegations. Yeah, I don't know. This seems to be like a lot of allegations here, and I don't think that any of it is particularly, like, nothing's been solved in court. So there's nothing particularly solid here. Wow, there's another crazy allegation here. I witnessed sexual harassment directed specifically at contract artists, which I brought up to leadership. This wasn't just ignored, but they put more women in harm's way. Like, this sounds like class action lawsuit. Like, this sounds like someone should be... Yeah, oh wow. Specific nicknames as well as women collectively being referred to as bitches. When they're together and then somebody who they don't like leaves a room, they'll be like, that effing asshole. I'm sorry, that's terrible. I should not be laughing at that, but it's kind of funny. I mean, like, hasn't there ever been someone that you have been, like, obligated to coexist with? And then as soon as they're gone, you're like, that effing prick. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Okay, maybe I would like to work at NRS. It seems like I have, like, the culture that they're describing here. Allegedly. Allegedly. Just allegedly. Darn, I really wanted to find what college they were talking about. Oh, here we go. Oh, I found it. Yay! One source said that for some of the temporary positions, it's easy enough to replace those who don't crunch with a new batch of eager contractors. Many temporary employees are recruited from DePaul University, the person said, and are students who are willing to work a 9-month contract for a $14 an hour in exchange for the chance to work on a AAA franchise. This also kind of sounds like you know what you're signing up for, then. Like, how can you be complaining if you know that you're signing up for a 9-month internship at $14 an hour? I mean, like, I don't think there's any sort of, like, union of students to ensure that interns are paid, like, some sort of, like, justified wage. So much like, I don't know, the race to the bottom in the third world, this is somewhere where companies could take advantage of. I'm not saying that it's right, but they can legally do it. They can get away with it. Okay, but all of this just kind of sounds like phooey. Some of it sounds like phooey, especially like the first twit. The first twit who went on the Twitter and said, Jimmy Longstreet. He said that someone died during the development of Injustice 2. It's in the title here. This is another article, double XP. Injustice 2 crunch led to colleague's death, ex-NetherRealm employee. What? What a preposterous claim. So, Jiminy Snackmouth, aka Jimmy Longstreet, whatever, he said that someone died during Injustice 2 development. So, the news outlet, or whoever that wrote this article, said the whole Twitter thread is worth reading. I imagine that it included some very fun fiction. A lot of fiction. Because if you try to go to the twit now, however you call it, it doesn't exist. They deleted their twit. Oh, let's go back. And then there's like an update here that says that Jimmy Snackmouth has removed his twit, posting an update that said, I got some details of what happened during Injustice 2 wrong, and I apologize for that. I deleted the specific twits. So, this is the problem, I feel like, in the court of public opinion. Like, you have said one thing, and now you have said another thing. You're like, you're a wiffle waffle. Like, which side of the fence are you standing on, Jimmy Longstreet? So, I think, like, that kind of just, like, even if the other people have, like, validity behind their claims, like this Beck, like this Isaac Taylor, like this Rebecca Rothschild, if there is some validity to their claims, it's kind of overshadowed by the fact that it was started by this Jiminy Snackmouth, who has later gone on to say, I was wrong. I deleted the twits. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just really not sure about some of these things. I think, like, there's two sides to every story. Like, there is definitely something going on that a lot of people are complaining about it. But it could also be that there are just a bunch of children complaining based on this DePaul University. I say that because a lot of people who are at university are still children. Like, when I was at university, compared to my mindset now, I would say that Dave in university was definitely a child. But I was working at the big fancy drug pharma company, so yeah, it is just kind of like an odd transition period of, like, adulthood and childhood. But yeah, I would say that these are still kids, and below the age of 21 in America, you still can't drink. So, yeah. Lots of craziness. Okay, so before we get on to maybe some more objective pieces of information, let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you, my friends, for joining along. I love you for being here. Please don't forget to leave a like. Oh boy. Oh, I see lots of comments. Alright, so, crunch is awful and damaging. It's a real issue. There's been stories of people getting sick from working on fatalities. A lot are so bad, it wasn't even worth it. VAs get shitted on so hard, too. Yeah, that's something I heard about, too. That one guy, about, like, how one guy got PTSD after seeing, like, hangings and murder photos and cows getting butchered and things like this. I feel two ways about this. So first way, I kind of don't care what the animations look like, so I think it's kind of terrible if people have to look at real gore. Mainly because I think it's hilarious when there's just, like, an excessive amount of blood. Like, lol, it's hilarious that there's so much blood. Like, the Quitality, when they explode into, like, a huge blood bag of bones. That's, like, hilarious. But did they actually look at somebody exploding in order to get that realistic thing? I don't know. The second way I feel about that is that it's kind of... I feel like that's not really, like, rushing the game, though. Like, sure, there could be some, like, weird company, corporate culture going on at NetherRealm, but does that really affect the release date? I'm really trying to focus on the release date of MK11, based on these articles and what we've seen, and there's still more to come from, like, Reddit and, other things. Feather Guardian, I feel like MK11 was rushed. The story was terrible. If it was going to have a reboot, why not bring all of the original trilogy characters? Maybe that's coming for MK12. You never know, Feather Guardian. Charlie Ravens, how you doing, friend? Hey there, friend. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yuri, sounds like there's standard replies when we send a ticket, lol. Yeah, Yuri. The standard replies kill me from WB support. Hate them. Isaiah, hey there, brother. Like for Combat Pack 2, they reused assets as far as I know. Melina was a bunch of reused assets like Katana character model, voice actress, Jackie's hitbox, and Shiva's D4. But you could make that argument, too, for, like, a lot of the characters in Combat Pack 1. Like, a lot of Terminator's things are kind of copied, pasted from Jax. Even some of their, like, move animations, they look very similar. I don't know. I feel like you could make that argument everywhere. But I will say that I love Combat Pack 2 for having a pretty default outfit for Melina. Like, you can see her booty in it. It's so cute. It's so cute. Yuri, that means the shoe fits. Oh no. Syl, hey Jade, listen to this. In 12 May this year, I must do a pre-session presentation in English, and I am going to talk about Mortal Kombat. Pretty cool, Syl. I hope you get it. I hope you get A+. Yay. Ragnar. Oh, yay. Thank you so much, my mods, for joining along, helping make sure that the live stream chat runs smoothly. Isaiah, she's still fun to meet, though. Yeah, Combat Pack and 2 felt really rushed. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe. I don't know. I really like the skins for Rain and Melina. So I've always thought of Combat Pack 2 having kind of, like, higher quality. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I have to think about it more. Okay, so we have here a Reddit post that came from the MK Reddit leaks. So this is tied to a leak concerning Combat Pack 3, as well as the release of Combat Pack 2. So I guess this would lend some validity to what you're saying, Isaiah, about Combat Pack 2 being rushed. So the Reddit post reads, NRS is the most toxic work environment I've ever been a part of. If you want to stay employed there, you have to be yes men for the higher ups. If you want to be a higher up, you have to be a yes man for Ed, Dominic, and that's the guy who writes the story. I was making $13 an hour. The others that got sacked were making up to $15 an hour, and as low as $11 an hour. So this is dating itself to 2020, November, which is when MK11 Ultimate came out. That is surprising that these are the numbers that are being stated. Really, like, that little average, because, like, the articles that were stated beforehand, they were saying that people were getting paid, like, $14 an hour. Let's see. I'm trying to find... She was paid $12 per hour. Okay. So at $12 per hour, and this was back with Injustice 2, so that was, like, 2013. There was really no change in, like, that little minimum amount from 2012 to 2020. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't seem right. Something seems fishy. Whether it be that this allegation is untrue or that NRS is really not willing to change the amount that they pay people in between 2013 and 2020, that's crazy. We were let go very abruptly too, since we were working from home. Our login credentials were revoked within the hour. I was told we were lucky to get a week's pay. Whoa, you're supposed to be given like 30 days or whatever. Or maybe it's written in the contract. I think it's written in the contract that you sign at the beginning. Like, if there is like a termination, like a preeminent termination, there's like a X amount of days that you have to be given notice so that you can like go find a job elsewhere and not be out on the street. I mean, like, be very careful about whatever it is that you sign. Whatever it is that you sign. And if you think that, like, they're, like, doing you a favor by letting you work there, that's totally the wrong attitude to go into with any job. You have to see your own value first. So I think, like, these kids that are coming from DePaul University, I think they're getting duped. But that's kind of on them, too. I don't know. I guess it is grimy. If everything is like hidden in a contract, but this is all based on like hypotheses, allegations, imaginations. Like, none of this is actually true. Like, there's no evidence. There's no court document. Anyways, as it is with every NRS game, support for MK11 was axed in favor of making a new game to make WB's pockets bigger. I don't think many people would have been a fan of the pack, though. At that point, we were just pulling shit out of our... Oh, God. Oops. I didn't want to continue that statement. The pack consisted of Ermac, Takeda, and Harley Quinn. What's wrong with that? That sounds pretty nice. I would have taken that pack. Why is that crap? Why is that, crap in your bum? I don't understand, OP. Why are you talking like this? The pack consisted of Ermac, Takeda, and Harley Quinn. It seems like a good pack. They're getting reused in the next game, which is basically an MK11 port without the MK11 guests, and with all the playable characters from MK9 and MKX. Leaks. I always take a leak with a grain of salt. I don't believe in anything until I actually get, like, official proof evidence. But based on what this guy is saying, hearsay on Reddit, people were mistreated up until the situation of Combat Pack 2. They were being fired abruptly, very abruptly, on, like, the limits of what would be considered reasonable. That's really bad. Their login credentials were revoked within the hour. Wow, that's so crazy. Also so crazy is that people at this internship level have just been making the same amount from 2013 onwards. Like, there was really no increase in what they pay interns over that period. Because of the numbers looking like this, I'm just not so believing. I don't know, maybe it's true. I'm just not keen on believing anything that comes from Reddit, anything that comes from Twitter, anything that comes from, like, the world of, like, social medias. I really just don't believe, unless there's, like, hard, factual evidence. But yeah, I really would have loved this, like, Ermac, Takeda, Harley Quinn pack. That sounds cool. But in, like, I guess trying to look objectively for, like, hard facts about NetherRealm, like, what's going on with NetherRealm. Like, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on, apparently. Seems like things were rushed, according to, like, ex-employees. I'm not certain. So here we've got this website, Glassdoor. If you've not heard of it before, it's somewhere where disgruntled employees can, like, rag on their ex-employers. Maybe? I'm not sure. I've learned that, like, within, like, business, you don't want to crap where you eat. Even making this video is kind of contentious for me, because I don't want to crap where I eat. I love Mortal Kombat, but I think it's very interesting to take a look at this, because you know, if you just ignore things, they don't go away. That's never the situation, and especially in the feeling of disservice as a player after reaching level 500 and getting these, like, really god-awful ugly skins and gear pieces that are just reskins. It's like, do they care about me? Does NRS care? No they don't. No they don't. Alright, so here we've got reviews. Here it's a current employee. Oh, so they must be a little bit biased if they're still a current employee. So they say pros: great department leads, upward movement if you're a hard worker, friendly coworkers, flexible hours, great benefits, good pay. Cons: string people along on contracts for a long time. Oh, wow, okay, and he's a current employee? Revolving door of contractors that have to be constantly trained and retrained. This is a situation that is, like, beyond the video game industry. Like, this is the thing of capitalism, because it's cheaper to have a new contractor rather than put people on full benefits, health benefits, insurance, sick leave, time off. Like, there's all of these things to be considered when you have, like, a full-time employee. So that's why it's usually cheaper for a lot of industries to have a revolving door of contractors. Like, that's just a complaint against capitalism, and if that's really your problem, like, vote for like, whoever's the most socialist. Not even here in Canada. Like, Canada gets painted as, like, this world of, like, a socialist utopia, but it's not really. I mean, capitalism still has a strong influence here. The only thing that I can say is that, like, when I go see the doctor, it doesn't cost anything, but you still have to pay for the medicine. Okay, sometimes people can play politics. Big surprise, I think that happens everywhere. Some people don't do their jobs and aren't being replaced or reprimanded because it's cheaper to have the ineffective worker than go look for a new worker. It's all about cost analysis. Okay, so, cons can be a long commute if you live outside of Chicago. I like that one. Commute into the city can take a while depending on hours. Hours. What? Is there no commuter train system in Chicago? I'm not familiar with how Chicago is set up. Very stressful, but it was chill. That's an oxymoron. How is stressful chill? Some of these reviews are kind of like, this was written by a child. This was definitely written by a child. I don't believe some of these things. Okay, lags behind in professional software development practices. Ooh. Oh, here we're getting some big cons. Heavily relies on QA testers. Lots of the senior management have worked there for a long time and stuck in their ways. Crunch is expected with each game release. So here is like a relatively like recent comment. This is from right after Aftermath in 2020 of June. Crunch is expected with each game release. So here we're having an employee. I'm guessing that these people are verified employees because you would need to have a business email in order to leave a review here. Crunch is expected with each game release. That sucks. QA testers are barely paid enough. That's also terrible because it's the QA testers that help make sure that the game runs smoothly for us, the players. So yeah, it seems like they're lacking in some departments here. But this is all allegedly. All allegedly. All allegedly. Okay. Oh wow, lots of information here. Wow, lots of reviews. Okay, so pros of working there: annual bonuses. Higher your level, the higher your percentage. Hey, I'm level 500. Does that mean I would get a huge bonus? Hopefully. Double bonuses. Higher your level, the higher your percentage. Okay, very nice. Very high job security thanks to MK titles and mobile microtransactions. Also, WB and ATT overlords help. What? Not even. I love that. Okay, so that's so crazy. I love that they're saying this kind of craziness. Future outlook looks great because of MK11 and Injustice mobile only microtransactions. Disgusting. Mobile only microtransactions. That's so scary. I don't want to get caught up in that world of microtransactions. Okay, so horrible pay, nowhere near Chicago cost of living. Can't use the word intern anymore, though that particular newcomer is a 6-month contractor and learning on the job. I don't know, you could be called an intern for up to a year, I feel is appropriate. 6 months? A 6-month contractor? For what specific project was this person hired to work only for 6 months? That's what I was saying earlier. Like, when you have people on, like, contract, they're not full-time. It's usually for a specific work project. So I could see that they hire more contractors for crunch time, and then the people who get the job of working during crunch time complaining about the crunch when they are knowingly being hired for a specific project. I have been hired for several specific projects in my time, and usually it was communicated upfront that there is, like, business goals to be achieved, and this is what's important. Whether it be like a submission or a database or something being completed on time, there was like specifics. Okay, several times NRS hires the wrong people. Oh, okay, alright. Well, that's on HR. Extremely slow career ladder growth unless you play politics. I think that's true for a lot of places. Crunch for some departments. Most departments don't crunch. Then the project suffers, and the other departments are forced to pick up the slack. Okay, I can see I'm getting a better picture of what they're describing here. That there is some sort of politics, that there are some sort of departments that are highly, like, favored. I know that when I was working for the drug companies, the sales department was always the most important department. They were the ones that were making the money. Screw the science people who were doing the tests. But that's kind of to be expected, because that's where your money is coming from. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Fire the good-for-nothing lazy employees that abuse the system. Wow, okay. Sounds like there's a lot of problems going on here. Also recurring is that HR is not doing their job. Their HR is afraid to fire low performers, so they are carrying a lot of dead weight. People who have worked anywhere else think they are doing crunch if they work 45 hours. What? People who haven't worked anywhere else think they are doing crunch if they work 40. I think I think that sounds pretty accurate. I'm not sure if that's a con, but yeah. You can find drama if you're the kind of person that wants to find it, but otherwise you can just show up, do your work, and head home. That sounds like a perfect job, actually. Just show up, do your work, go home. That sounds really nice. I don't know about that. Okay. Oh wow, okay, so this is speaking a little to one of my problems with the game. Late or lazy design. Yeah, I feel like there is just a lot of, like, lazy design. I still give it 4 stars, but with simple professional software engineering practices, it could be so much better. It seems like there's a lot of, like not recognized talent, which is kind of unfortunate. Seems like people who are doing poorly at NetherRealm get kind of propelled forward, and people who are just on contract but maybe talented, they're kind of being given the short end of the stick, which sucks. Totally sucks. So we've also got some hard statistics here. We've got pays, the salaried pay for different positions at NetherRealm. So this is kind of surprising. And let me just say, disclaimer, everything that I get at YouTube is less than what's on here. Severely less. Please consider joining the Jaded Bunny fam. It helps support the channel, also lets me know that you enjoy this kind of quality content and that you want to see more of it. But yes, I definitely make way less than what these people are complaining about. I wish I was making this off YouTube. Alright, so associate artist contractor. Wow. I mean, it is low. Like, when I was working for the drug companies, I was getting paid 70k. So, this sounds pretty low. QA analyst, 29. Oh, but then I forget, American money. That's like double our Canadian Monopoly money. Yeah, okay. Okay. QA analyst. Aw, that's so sad. So, they're a contractor. They were probably doing, like, testing for a specific game. 30,000 for the year. So I'm thinking that these were the people who came out of the university, DePaul University. I'm not sure though. Software engineer, 130k a year. Amazing. Additional 20 a year, was that from a bonus? Is that what they were talking about, bonuses? An additional 20k bonus? There's so much you could do with that. Their bonus is like almost this guy's total annual pay. That's really disgusting. But wow, I'm envious. Wow, okay, 50 to 82k for associate producer. Oh, I guess that's based on your level of experience before becoming a producer. Quality assurance analyst, contractor. I'm surprised there's no full-time QA people. They're all contractors. That totally sounds like the department that's getting shafted at NRS QA. I can speak to that because a lot of the augments that I play with, they have not been tested. No quality assurance was done on some of that augment system. And I really feel for the guy who made the old augment system and they're like, let's throw out this system and make a completely new system. Like, poor that one guy who made that system. Okay, lead artist. Oh wow, they're getting 150k. Yeah, it seems like there's a total discrepancy between what the contractors internship are getting. They're getting about like 30k. We're seeing like typical, but people who are full-time can be expecting upwards of 100k for full-time employment with NRS, which is pretty good. Pretty good. So I can see why there's politics going on at the studio. Like, they're saying that there's, like, politics and craziness going on here. Let's see. Some people can play politics. Yeah, it's because you get paid more if you can play the politics well. But that's capitalism. That's not really a fault of NRS. That's just capitalism. Alright, okay, so, yay, alright. So crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Mortal Kombat 11 was rushed? I feel like there are a lot of like complaints being voiced about NRS, this crunch culture, not being paid enough, and if people are not being paid enough, I could hardly see why they would be motivated to put in quality work. But if there is this alleged practice of general working conditions of crunch, then maybe it is just too overwhelming for people. Alright, so let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you for joining. That one guy, rumors about MK12, we'll have to see. I really don't like to entertain rumors. But I guess this has been a rumor video. Allegations. I did not make up these rumors, or allegations. These are all coming from other people, and I'm not entirely sure if I agree with everything that we've just looked over. Booth, a lot of people say the pandemic was what affected the game the worst. I don't know, man. For me, they just made this game release DLC and dropped 3 patches and abandoned the game. A big disappointment. Oh no, Booth. I don't know. I like the game. I think the game's good. But I think, like, what ruined it was no sexy outfit for Scarlet at release. I'm one of those people. There really should have been more sexy outfits. Junior, they hired graphics designers. Okay. Cassie got Harley Quinn's skin. To be fair, MK11 is NRS's longest supported game. It's not saying much, but still sucks. They literally went radio silent after months, and they were like, oh yeah, we're done with the game. They did say at the beginning of the game that there was going to be years of content, and quite honestly, there has been. We're still getting new things released in Combat League, so there is still technically new content for the next 10 weeks ahead. So that's pretty good. Yay, maybe? Ravenous, they could have put a little more effort in the rewards to keep the game going instead of giving us a mask that has a new mole in Combat League. Maybe? I really like the reskin for Katana's mask, so I can't talk bad about it, but I understand what you're saying. There's a lot of reskins, unfortunately, from Combat League rewards. Isaiah, repeat season rewards are underwhelming most of the time, to be honest. Yes, true. Isaiah, I'm glad there are at least some hidden gems here and there with repeat KL seasons. I really loved last season, Isaiah, so yeah, do check out my fashion show from last season. It came out Tuesday. It has Katana and Kano on the thumbnail. Really did go crazy for a bunch of those reskins. I liked them. The Chitin Bug has been on a sugar rush this entire video. Maybe? I have not had any sugar? Am I a Chitin Bug? Oh, you're talking about the GIF. Yes, I made that GIF. It's the little bug. He's flapping around. The bosses are now Warner Bros. Discovery. Okay. Maybe. I mean, like, ultimately, I think whatever happens in a Mortal Kombat game is decided by Warner Brothers, but I feel like the general minutia of the game, gameplay elements, that comes down to the developers. The rewards that we get, like all of the palette swaps, like that comes down to the developers. They could have made something beautiful instead of putting ugly palette swaps in the game, which is unfortunate. But yeah, there's a lot of ugly palette swaps as we took a look at in the ugliest skins of MK12. There's also just a lack of, like, player appreciation. Like, why work to level 500 max level if there is no difference between level 200, level 100, level 500? They're all the same. So it makes me feel like there were certain elements of the game that were unfinished, incomplete, rushed, copy-pasted, and I think, like, trying to figure out why by looking at these articles, it gives some idea of, like, what was going on at NetherRealm during the time of MK11's release and why these skins were made this way. But I think, like, ultimately, we can't really know for certain unless there's, like, we get an interview with, like, one of the devs and we ask them what's going on. Would be nice if we could have like an interview. I did like talk to Jandy. I remember that, and he live streamed our talk. However, I went back to his Twitch and he removed it. I was like, oh shoot, I was gonna download it. So I would really love the opportunity again to have like an interview with one of the creators of MK11 to try and figure out like what's going on here. I think like I would not ask them directly about this alleged accusation about taking many temporary student employees from DePaul University, but yeah, it would be interesting to get like some deeper insight as to why there are so many like reskins, palette swaps, and untested exploits with the augments. Like, surely did no one think about the same things that I thought about at QA? I'm confused. Alright, so wow, we've had ourselves just such a lovely time talking about Mortal Kombat 11. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, but if you are here at this part, please do me a favor, click the like, leave a comment after the video goes up, and please subscribe. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please check out my other social medias, my Twitter, my Twitch, and my Discord, to which you're all invited to join. Also, much love to my Jaded buddy family. You guys help support the channel and honestly help inspire us, keep us alive here on the YouTube. It makes it really worthwhile to make these videos, and I really am able to find the time because of you guys. So much love to my brothers and sisters. Much love to Shoria, It's Noxious, Case Cold, Andrew, Pace 20K, Nestor, Shiny Hunter, Kenneth, Marcio, Your Name Here, Airy, Coffee Gamer, Michael K, Ryan, Darkside, Ghoul, Mark Danny, Rapid Cancel, Thomas Brazil, Tao, Michael G, Sir Fire Eater, Joey, Michael R, Maruna, Styles, Steve, Andre, Ilkid, Plague Doctor, Snoopy Blind, FGC, The Joker, Yuri, Erdem, A Misanthrope, JJ, Calum, Dr. Eggman, Jason, Atomic Crossfire, Sean, Alina, Joel Ketchum, Cider M, Alan, Ragnar Rian Chaos, and Queen Melina. Yay! Thank you so much, my brothers and sisters, for being my bunny family. It means a lot that we can hop along in our private family-only events. If you want part of the private PvP events that we have, please join the fam. It would be amazing. You also get access to my infinite time crystal glitch, my #1 strategies for single player. But yes, I am really quite interested to know what your guys' opinions are about Mortal Kombat 11's release. Like, we are seeing that there was crunch, or allegations of crunch, with the games from beforehand. We're also seeing Reddit saying that there was crunch up until Combat Pack 2. Does this mean that there's going to be crunch for MK12? I don't know. I'm really concerned about what they're saying here, but hopefully it all results in a beautiful game for us to play, maybe? Let's just make sure I'm not missing any of your comments. Really, thank you again for joining along. I hope you guys are gonna have a fantastic weekend. Yuri, they could hire a temp to just break the looping cycle of the cash shop. That would be nice. Oh wow, yeah, that would be nice. Alright, so yes, thank you, my friends. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye, take care, peace, love you guys.